All right, back with Rosie and Shneeka, and now Nikki is joining us as well with some important insights in food here at TC. All right, so you talked about your relationship in general, but tell me a bit about co-teaching and co-planning. What are some priorities that you've decided to focus on? Co-teaching or co-planning?
Co-planning. We also plan with one other teacher, so it's 3 of us planning together. I'm very thankful for the periods that we get to plan together, because it's intentional planning. It's not like scattered. Although sometimes it is a little scattered when we're trying to text and figure out what to do. But I think the opportunities that we get to co-plan together are really useful and helpful for me too, to see, actually see how you plan things, realistically. You're not doing it 4 weeks before. You're doing it 2 days before or 3 days before and how you plan when classes meet on different days and different amounts.
And who's the teacher who you co-teach with? Is this a content area teacher, or?
Rita. So so I teach 3 English classes. She teaches 1. So we kind of plan together.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And
the paper for sure.
I think it's nice. I think it's nice. It also creates a different dynamic as well. It allows you to also build a relationship with another teacher.
Yeah.
And I think it's always good to have more people there to bounce ideas off of. Yeah, and one thing that we did this semester is I think Shneeka chose the book that we're teaching. So it's a new book that we're all teaching. None of us have taught it before.
Yes, that's cool too.
We kind of decided that jointly.
Yeah, seeing the development of that and how you get from the book to the point of it. Yeah.
What's the book?
Gabby, The Girl in Pieces. Pretty good. It's very very sexy for a lot of teenage angst in it.
Cool.
But it talks about a lot of sex stuff, about pregnancy, relationships.
Thank you.
It's cool. It's a good book.
And so that's another one of the pillars, actually, curriculum. So how did you guys go about planning this unit with this new book?
You're going to be at VAS, right? You're going, right?
We made the beginning, we made a curriculum map. And tried to figure out what connections this book could provide to even next year. We've already planned to have it go to develop their personal statements for college, which it seemed like it was a little bit hectic for seniors this year to get their personal statements done. So to support them doing it at the end of this year, getting the ideas generated, right? And then, so that's how we started. And then we kind of worked back, what important themes could they write about?
We also use the PD day, in February, to kind of plan together. And so you also came to that PD.
Yeah.
So I feel those days, that we have longer time to plan together is always important. The last spring retreat thing that we had at TC, I thought was really good too, because we had more time to plan. I feel the first one we didn't have as much time to plan.
Correct, yeah.
So I really valued the second one and having that time to just sit together, because one day a week on Mondays, I don't have a prep, so it's super hectic. I have a meeting, a curriculum meeting, and then 3 classes of English, and then CBAT's another class. So it's a lot. and then we don't get to check in. And then I have a staff meeting. So, in an ideal world, I would have like a prep in the afternoon. I think would also be really helpful for us to debrief.
Yeah.
And to be able to check in about things, because like every Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday, the afternoons are totally filled. It's actually Thursday and Friday when you're not there that I have a prep after lunch.
Yeah.
So that would be something I wish we had.
Yeah, and because I don't come on Thursday and Friday,
Right.
so then Monday there's no time to check in before we start, really.
Yeah, and then it's like there's like a gap. I mean, luckily on Thursdays I have theater development fund, so we do playwriting. So she doesn't miss too much. And the one class that she's kind of been part of, like most heavily, I would say, is the class that I have Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So she's kind of consecutive with that. Unfortunately, it's the IEP class, so it's a little bit of, it's tough. It's a tough class.
And there's 28 students in the class.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of people.
Yeah. Right, Nick?
So has the process of planning this unit been pretty collaborative? Like, do you guys try to come together and make the decisions together? Do you divide and conquer sometimes?
Both things, I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think that depends on timing mostly.
Yeah.
If we have time to sit down and plan together, then that's what happens. But if not, usually divide and conquer approach.
And I think like in the beginning, it was like a lot more collaborative, and then you got sick, and then it was like kind of got jolted a little bit, where I had to kind of take a lot more on, other back on, and then now it's kind of more collaborative again.
What are some opportunities you've had to develop curriculum?
With starting from this book, being able to identify a lot of the themes and a lot of the conversations and activities that could happen around those themes. And then like more of like ways to summarize, like ways for students to first guiding questions, like being able to like support students while they're reading, and then ways to get students to summarize the material, like the activities, like the focus questions, right, in the activities. Yeah.
How did you wind up with this book? How did you know about it, or what made you think it would be a good fit for your students?
You were reading a part of it in CBAS for something. I don't remember.
For text analysis.
Right.
Yeah.
And then I started reading part of it, and I borrowed it, and then I liked it, and I thought they would like it because it's really like gossipy and it's important because it comes from a like Mexican American girl, the perspective. So the perspective is a little bit different than what I read in high school, and I thought that the students would appreciate that. And and talks about stuff that's important for students to talk about.
And Rita really loved it.
Yeah,
I hadn't even like read the whole thing when we decided to do it.
yeah.
But I kind of just went with it and trusted you and Rita.
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. How's it going? How are the kids doing?
It's great. I think they really like it. I think they struggle with reading, and you can't read the entire thing with them. There's just not enough time and to do everything else.
Yeah.
So some of them know it better than others.
But a lot of the boys are really into it, which is
Surprising.
yeah. like some of the boys who, like Amin, who like never really does a lot of stuff, is so into this book.
Oh, yeah, he knows it so well.
Yeah, he's like, that's not what Gabby said.
Yeah. So I think I would teach it again, for sure.
Very cool.
I've been definitely challenged by this book though, because there's so much to talk about.
Yeah.
So you kind of have to figure out what is. I think like planning the lessons, and like you've definitely showed me how to like tease out what needs to be talked about and what does not. What you can kind of just like, you have to, like, you can't talk about everything like you said.
Right.
So making that distinction of like what's important and then what's not really not as important to talk about.
Yeah, we kind of just like left out like the father's death.
Yeah.
I mean, an addiction, there's like that aspect of it. And the whole college aspect.
Right.
Like we definitely focus more on like sex. And patriarchy and gender and self-love, which I think are like a little bit more relevant to them right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, or at least to the majority of them.
Cool. Awesome. So shifting gears a little bit, one of the other pillars is technology and assistive technology. Can you tell me about how you use technology in your classroom?
Well, in advisory, we use a lot of like computers. Let them use computers and teach them how to use like Google Classroom, and, like Google like Docs and Drive, and we use PowerPoint and play music sometimes. I don't know if that's really technology, but yeah.
They use their phones sometimes.
Yeah.
But actually, I think in some ways, like this marking period, we kind of switched to like more of a journal.
Yeah.
Like old school pen and paper.
How come? What made you make that switch?
Because the regions. I mean, well, a couple reasons. One, she has a journal, Gabby. Two, they have to work on their penmanship and their writing because you don't type the regions exam, you know. So like, and your handwriting is very important. Like, if they can't read it, forget it. It's done. So I think they need practice. Like, you know, like Professor Balby always said, redundancy and abundancy. Like, they have to just write things over and over again to like learn it. And so like we were doing a lot of class notes. So like in lots of ways, like we were doing all the writing for them. But maybe now that they're doing the essay, we could think a little bit more about.
Yeah. Technology. It's also, just the skill of writing. Like every time that we request that they write something, we have to write this? Like, yes, we have to write. Like, we have to copy all of this? Like, yes, because we would have them copy the question and then respond to the question. And you would have thought we were asking them to like copy word for word like the Bible. Like they were like, so
I will not go to the bathroom. I will not go to
the right. So just that skill of writing things down was important decision in switching away from constantly being on. Yeah. And I think also the social aspect of it too, like being able to write. You don't have a computer in front of you, so you can like see people. You can like facilitates conversation a little bit better.
Do you want to take a break for a minute and walk around?
Hi.
Hi. Yeah, keep going.
Are you sure? I don't mind.
It's okay.
Perfect. All right, only a few more questions anyway. So Nikki.
Sorry, maybe.
Yeah, let's take a break.